Welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, home of the #1 independent wrestling coverage, available on iTunes, Stitcher, blogtalk Radio, and wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on Twitter at Elite Podcast Net and join the revolution now. WHRadio. Welcome to Wrestlingheads Radio. It's me, Oscar, taking over this thing over here tonight, but I'm not alone. I got the man from the NYC joining me. I got Mr. Tom. What's going on, Tom?
Not much. It's gonna be a big night here on Wrestlingheads Radio, and all of our listeners, I think, should know why by now.
Yeah, they should know why. They're living under the rock. Then I will explain why. Because tonight we got a special guest with us tonight, and he's formerly known in the WWE, and he's going to be talking about his e-book that's just coming out right now. Ladies and gentlemen, JTG. What's going on, man?
Everything is good, man, but what kind of introduction is that to bring the fans, to? Oh, man, let me give them a whole Crime Time introduction. Yo! Yo, it's your boy JTG.
Yeah.
Unlike LeBron, I stayed with that heat. Chill.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Hey, you know what's funny? You know what's funny talking about basketball? I'm actually watching the Clippers right now. I'm not even a Clipper fan. But anyways, I cannot do that introduction. My name is Chad Gaspar, so if you had him on, I'll let him do it. But anyways, man, what's up with you now lately? I know you got this book coming out. Maybe you could explain to our listeners what's up with this book that you're coming out with.
Oh, the book is already out. The book is on Amazon. The book is on Nook. The book is on Kobo. The book is on my bio on Twitter. In the link, it's at PayHub. All you have to do is type in the title, Damn, Why Did I Write This Book? And right now the book is doing great on Amazon in its category. It's in two categories. It's the #1 seller. And I've been hearing nothing but great reviews about the book, and I want to thank everybody who purchased it and is spreading the word.
Yes, definitely. I want to ask you about this book. What is this book about? Is this book about your life, or just basically your whole entire career in the WWE, or is it any of that, or just add up more? Like, what is this?
None of the above. None of the above. I get straight to the juicy parts. And the juicy part, I hit a topic that's never been touched in any wrestling book ever before, which is heat. And heat, if nobody knows what that is in the wrestling business, that could end your career before it even starts. Heat is a black cloud that follows a wrestler after altercation between two wrestlers, or between more than one. It's pretty much, it's like cooties for grown ass men.
Okay. Is there anything you just said it's nothing to do with any about that, but is there anything wrestling related in there? Like example, how you got started in the business? Anything like that? Related?
Oh yeah, definitely. The book is definitely about my career and all the heat that I've encountered in my career.
Okay.
You know, it's definitely wrestling based. It's for wrestling fans, and anybody who's a wrestling fan should get the book. And the book is also for inspiring wrestlers who want to get into the business. This will give you a good up close and personal of the subculture in wrestling.
Yeah, definitely. when any of our listeners would like say they're like kind of interested with the book, is there any chances like some dirt going on in the book? Like, for example, you got something to say like anything there involved with WWE, or maybe something positive about the WWE or the current product or the time you were there? Is there any of that in that book?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say it's dirt. It's my experience and how I viewed things while I was there. You know, there's a lot of juicy info in there, some great stories, and in the style that I wrote it is very comedic and very entertaining. So even if you're not a wrestling fan, this will give you it's very entertaining. On every story I give you there's a lot of LOLs out in there, a lot of laugh out louds while you're reading the book.
Yeah, definitely. I just to make the. I'm gonna say a funny story. I remember when we went on the air. I told you that I met you back at the Wrestling Guy store about a few months back. And I remember what made me laugh. It was funny the whole night. You guys made my day. Was I don't know, was it you or Shad? Actually showed me pictures of Sunny on her Skype photos. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know if that was you or Shad. Huh?
What did you say? A picture?
Pictures, yeah. You guys were showing. I don't know if it was you or Shad. One of you two were showing me pictures of Sunny of her Skype photos.
Oh, that must have been Shad.
All right. Well, I've been asking you too many questions. I'm gonna pass it on to Tom. Tom, you have any questions for JTG?
Yeah, man. First of all, thanks for coming on here. I know you're a busy man, you know, with this book coming out and all that. So thanks for coming on here. I got to ask, when you look back on your career, and do you kind of think that, man, I'm writing a book on my career. Did you ever think that it was going to come to, you know, this much fruition, that you were going to be able to write a book about your stories and your experiences in wrestling?
No, I didn't. Like, during the time that I was wrestling, I had no idea I was going to write a book, and I didn't know it was going to evolve to this. But I had a great wrestling career. You know, this book particularly was about heat. You know, I don't think I'm gonna write a book about all the great times that I had, because I don't think people want to hear that. They want to hear the drama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And the title of your book, Damn, Why Did I Write This Book? Obviously a playoff of your most famous tweet, Damn, Why Did I Pick Up the Phone? When you were writing out that tweet, did you think that it was going to be the magnitude that it got? Because a lot of retweets, a lot of favorites, got a lot of attention from different wrestling websites and medias. Did you think that one tweet was going to have such a big effect?
Absolutely not. You know, it was kind of spur of the moment. When I picked up the phone, I hung up, I told my wife, and kind of just let it soak in. I just let it soak in, and then I bust that tweet out right off the top of my head. I had no idea it was going to be this big.
Did you think you know, because when a lot of people get released, it's a lot of disappointment. It's a lot of, you know, kind of a sad attitude, but your first tweet out of there is, you know, humor thrown at it. Was that the kind of approach that you wanted? Was like, you know, damn, I got released, but, you know, I'm going to make light of the situation?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The writing was definitely on the wall. You know, I was still remaining optimistic that they were going to bring me back with a new character, maybe a new look. That's why they took me off the road, because I was home for almost a year before I got that call. But the writing was pretty much there, and I was pretty much preparing myself for the next chapter in my life. You know, I have a few projects that I got going on. You know, I did the book. Now everybody's asking for part 2, so I got to get started. I already got one story knocked out, so I'm gonna get started working on the rest of the chapters. That story got knocked out because I was gonna add it to the Amazon version of Damn, Why Did I Write This Book? But my editor told me that that chapter was too good. We can't give it away. We have to put it in part 2. So yeah, I'm staying busy, man. Also with the auditioning and acting. I got a movie coming out in July. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to the next chapter in my life. And I love wrestling, but I'm not in love with it right now. And that's behind me. But I still love my wrestling fans, and I still love entertaining them. That's why I wrote the book.
Oh, without a doubt. And I think with someone like you, you're still pretty young. You're only 30 years old. So keeping busy like this shows a strong sense of what you're going to be doing for your future. So I admire that completely.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, so I got my couple questions out of the way, so I'm going to be passing it back to Oscar. Oscar, go on ahead.
What's up, Oscar?
Yeah, before... What's up, man? All right, before I ask you my next question, I wanted our listeners to know if anybody has a question for JTG, you can always call us at area code 347-945-5566, or you can tweet us at Wrestlingheads, and please be respectful. All right. My next question I was going to ask you, I actually heard a rumor about this maybe a year ago or two. I don't know if this is actually in your book, but I remember that you and Shad had a little thing going on with John Cena. Like you guys were aligned with him at one point. I remember you guys wrecked JBL's limo. You remember that? We all should remember that.
Yeah.
And the main thing about the rumor was I heard that John Cena didn't want to do anything with you guys. I don't know what it is. I have no idea, but it seems like since when that was done, then pretty much Crime Time was done. Is there any truth to that? And if there's any truth on it, is it anything on your book about that story?
No, there's nothing about that in my book, but there's a few stories around that you might want to check out. Hold on, there's raining out here in LA, and I'm in the car, so I'm gonna go inside real quick because the rain is coming out hard. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
Yeah,
can you guys hear it?
I understand it's raining. Yeah, I can hear the rain. I know. I live
okay,
in
so let me go inside real quick. Just give me a few seconds.
Yeah, take your time. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it is raining in Los Angeles. It's like finally we get some rain out here. You know, here in California we have the water drought issue here in California, so hopefully we get more rain out here in the West Coast. It's been
sorry about that.
I'm back. Weird. It's all good. It's okay. It's good. Yeah, you could continue on about the whole John Cena story.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's the reason why. I'm not sure. I don't know about that. But we did kind of abruptly stop working together, so that could be true. There might be some truth to that. All
right. Yeah, I remember I talked to Shad. I saw him at a local wrestling show. He had a match with Willie Mack, a.k.a. The Mack, who's currently wrestling in Lucha Underground. He actually was, when I met him at that time, he was actually running his mouth at Cena. I always thought maybe that was true because he was running his mouth and he was like, oh, fuck John Cena, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm hearing from your mouth, you're saying you don't know if that's any truth or not, but you still don't know any reason why that you guys are no longer, why you guys kind of broke up your pact? Because it seems like that time, John Cena is the man. He's like the Hulk Hogan and anything, but when Hulk Hogan was around, he had his own tag team alliance. I remember there was like a couple of teams were like got his back, like Demolition, like from back in the day. I thought you guys would be the same. You guys got the top guys back or something like that, but it didn't go that way. So
yeah, I guess Cena wanted to roll solo. He didn't need us. That's Superman anyway. You don't need us.
Superman, right? He kicks out everybody's finishers, right? All right, man. I'm gonna go pass it back to Tom. Tom, you got anything?
Yeah, my next question I got, when you made your debut in 2006, I don't believe you were even 21 years old yet. Being so young and making your debut on Raw, a national televised show that millions of people see, how nervous were you being still a young kid in the business and making your debut before you can even start legally drinking?
I'll tell you the truth right now. I was not nervous at all. I was I was more anxious. I was so hyped to go out there in front of the Staples Center, because that's where we made our debut at, actually in Los Angeles. And if you watch back my debut video, which I tell fans to do in the book, because there's a story surrounding this my debut that I want you. It's a really funny story that you guys need to read the book for, and find out the juicy details about that. But I was so hyped that day during my debut that my chain broke off my neck and my hat flew off. I was bouncing all over the place. That's how hype I was. There was no part about me that was nervous.
Now, was there any, I don't want to say heat because you've thrown that word around and that's basically what your book is around, but was there maybe some animosity from maybe some of the veterans or some of the other guys that somebody this young is debuting on Raw when maybe some other guys had to work until they were, 30 to get to that point? Was there any kind of animosity from some people?
Yeah, I definitely felt some animosity because, especially with me, because when I got signed that summer of June, and then I was only in OVW for a few more months before I got called up on the main roster, and I made my debut that fall in September. So yeah, I when I got signed, when I got pulled, everything got moved pretty quick. So there was definitely a lot of jealousy, especially we got over really quick too with the WWE universe.
Now, did that kind of put you in the sense of maybe more nervousness or more pressure on you, or did it kind of motivate you to say, you know what, I'm going to prove these guys wrong and show them that, I deserve to be here just as much as anybody?
I was very humble. It made me more humble because at the time, Crime Time was really hot, and I wanted to keep up that momentum. And for me, in order to do that, Shad and I had to remain real humble, but we still, for some reason, we always got ourselves into heat, encountered heat.
Yeah, I mean, now that we're, I think, in a day and age where people crave the backstage knowings, it's coming out more that, you learn more about the wrestling business outside of the ring. So I can see that, but you know what? Good on you and Shad to just stay humble, brush it off your shoulders, say, you know what, we're here, we're going to do big things. So definitely shows a lot of character in what you and Shad were doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then in the book, I get into a lot of stories in detail and how we handled some of those situations, and definitely how I handled them, and it's very entertaining.
Now, before I pass it back on to Oscar, I got to ask for some of the people maybe interested in the book, how much input and maybe how many stories did Shad have putting into this book? Is it just your stories, or did he have some input into the book as well?
No, these are all my stories and my view of the business. Yeah, and that's it. My wife helped co-author it, but the majority of it, all 95% of the work and the writing was done by me and my memories and how I looked at the business.
Yeah, what was Shad? I don't know if you still maybe keep in touch with Shad. I saw you guys, working together with some.
Before you guys called me, Shad was over here.
What was Shad's reaction to you writing this book?
I got his blessings before. I told him up front, like I was writing a book and it's surrounding heat, and you're a big part of my life, and a lot of the heat came from in the beginning of our career came from you. And I was like, I just want to let you know I'm writing the book. And he's like, "Ooh, you telling all the juicy details?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm telling all the juicy details." And he's like, "All right, man. I wish you the best of luck." And he gave me his blessings.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, Oscar, pass it right back on to you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. It's funny when you mentioned about his debut. I was actually at that Raw when I saw his debut. Was going against the Spirit Squad.
Yeah.
I remember. And then after you defeat them, that's when the beginning of the end of the Spirit Squad. That's when I remember after the match they had that argument going on. But going back to that, I remember you guys had a huge pop because I remember back then people were interested to see, okay, let's see what these guys could do. It was something different. It was a different tag team, and I think at that time the tag team division was pretty cool to watch at that time. And my next question I want to ask you: is there anything that you're proud of looking back when you're in the WWE? You can say, "Oh yeah, I was proud I did this or that." Is there anything that you want to give out, like a moment that you were so happy with?
I'm proud of my whole career. I'm happy with I'm happy how everything went. I have no regrets. Everything happens for a reason. That's my philosophy. And the man that I am today, and the road that I'm going down, if anything would have changed in that, any butterfly effect would have changed in that, I would not be where I am today. So if anything, I would not change anything because I like the road that I'm going down.
All right. I want to ask you the next question. I actually back then. I actually liked the tag team Crime Time, and I always said to myself, I think these guys could win the WWE Tag Champions one of these days. You cannot miss on these guys. And unfortunately, you guys never held it once. And it was funny that I'm asking this question. I was at that SummerSlam when you guys wrestled Shera Show, which is, if anybody remembered, it was the tag team of Chris Jericho and the Big Show. And I remember back then I was like, okay, Crime Time is going to win a tag team belt, and then Jericho and Big Show are going to go back to the WWE title picture after this somehow. And then, unfortunately, they still walked out tag team champions. But the question I'm going to ask you, why did you think that Crime Time never ever held the tag team titles? I mean, is there a certain reason you could say, like, was it anything involved with the creative team didn't never believe in you guys, or is it something like what a lot of people are saying? I don't know. I doubt it's true, but there's some people saying there's race involved, like what happened to Alberto Del Rio. Do you feel the same way what Alberto feels with the WWE today?
I believe I was told on two separate occasions that Shad and I were supposed to win the titles. One reason is in the book, and the other reason is going to be in the second book. But there could have been other factors too that I don't know about because that's all in the office. But there's only two that I know about.
All right. So basically, in your book, like you said right now, you found out one of the reasons why you guys are supposed to win the tag belts, but the other reasons in there. Okay, so it's basically for our listeners, if you want that answer, you got to get the book.
There you go.
See, there you go. See, JTG ain't gonna review anything. So if you guys want to find out what's up, you better get that book. So
so it's only 99 cents. It's about an hour read and beginning to end entertainment.
Yeah, definitely. You know how the WWE right now, they got their own network going on right now, but I don't know, do you guys have the network, or do you guys like to look back to your old stuff? Like, I want to say they do have your guys' debut on Raw on the network. I want to say they do. Do you guys look back, like maybe old pay-per-view matches? Like, do you guys do that now these days or no? If
anything, I'll probably go on YouTube, but I don't follow. I don't have WWE Network, but if I did want to watch like a certain match or a pay-per-view, I'll just ask the homie for his account. I'm not going to pay $9.99 a month. I'll just borrow it. I keep it real. I just borrow it from my friend. I just borrow it from my friend and use the account for the day.
Hey, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, if you just keep it real. It's all good. If you want to like borrow a friend's account, I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm not the only one to do it.
Yeah, I kind of do the same thing with I'm not
Netflix
gonna lie either. I do the same thing. I do the same thing with the New Japan one. I do that too.
Okay.
I borrow a friend's account, and it's pretty good too. It's a great thing to watch as well. So I do the same thing. So yeah, I'm not gonna blame you on that. All right, I'm gonna pass it up to Tom now. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about maybe some of the more negative aspects of your career. I want to kind of turn to maybe some of the positives and some of the things we can look back and and be like, oh, that was cool. So who are some of your favorite guys that you got to work with that were always nice to you? They were good to work with in the ring. They always made sure maybe to give you advice if you needed it. Who are some of your favorite guys to work with?
My favorite guys to work with that I had fun with and also gave me advice was I loved working with Santino. He was fun to work with. I worked Daniel Bryan once, but I learned so much in that one match working with him in a dark match, and that was a great experience working with him. Chris Jericho, the best in the world to work with. So much experience. I'm so thankful that he put me over in New Jersey right before SummerSlam. That was a great match. My mom was front row and watched her son win against a world champion. Who else was great to work with? I love working with Kofi. I worked with a bunch of people. I'm trying to think. I don't want to leave nobody out. Working with the world's greatest tag team. That was also a great experience.
Yeah, I actually really liked that whole dynamic between you and the world's greatest tag team. Looking back on it, that was some good times. And you mentioned Daniel Bryan. I kind of want to get into a little thing maybe outside of what we were talking about. Obviously, what's going on with him is he's been plagued with injuries, and he doesn't know if he's even going to wrestle ever again. When you hear stories like this, how does it impact you, somebody who had been in the business for quite some time, and you look at all the guys that don't get to wrestle again because of injuries? Does it kind of maybe make you feel more thankful? Does it worry you? What effect does it have on you?
I definitely feel thankful because I've been wrestling for 10 years now. You know, I was with the W for 8 years, but prior to that, I was training in OVW trying to get a contract, and I've never had an injury. I've been hurt and got bruises and had sores, got sore, but I never got injured, and I'm thankful for that. I was able to walk out the business with no serious concussions, no broken bones. And I really hope that none of my friends get hurt in the ring, because just a few months ago, hearing about that wrestler that passed away, you know, that was really heartbreaking. Like, that could happen to anybody with just it was just a drop kick. And yeah, that was really sad. That also impacted me, like made me want to think if I ever wanted to get back in the ring again.
Yeah, and I got to imagine that. You know, you see these stories, and even from a fan's perspective, it affects us. But as a wrestler, you're like, man, that could have happened to me. I could have had a serious injury like that. So it must kind of make you feel thankful that you never had to experience that, and it kind of is a little bit of a sigh of relief for you.
Yes, definitely agree.
Oscar, throwing it back to you.
Yeah, I want to ask him a question. What you just mentioned right now about OVW. You said that you started off from there, but what was your meaning about starting off? Did you start off learning the ropes of wrestling, or did you start off somewhere else? Like, did you went to a school, then you went to OVW?
Yeah, I started off actually a little outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. I learned how to hit the ropes, and I learned how to bump, and that was about it. And obviously there's a lot more to wrestling than that. The guy that was training me, you know, I gave him some money up front. I was young. I was so eager to learn the craft of wrestling, and he pretty much took my money, did like 2 or 3 classes with me, and then just left me pretty much with the ring with the other wrestlers, and I was just watching them. And, you know, after a few months of that, I couldn't take no more. You know, I had to go get some real training. I moved back home, and I found OVW. I heard about OVW, and then I moved to Memphis first, so I could be closer to Louisville, because I did not want to move to Louisville, Kentucky, because that was such a big culture shock, and I had no family there. But I had family in Memphis. I moved there. And then the bus, you know, when I got there so early that I had to sleep in the Greyhound bus station for a few hours before I actually went to training. So I just moved back home to New York and got there like about an hour before class starts. So I'd rather sleep on the bus than sleep in a Greyhound bus station with those shady characters.
yeah. It's funny when you. No, I was asking you. It's funny that you keep mentioning about you tried out OVW, but was that the time? Was that OVW at the time WWE's developmental at that time, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, OVW was the spot to be if you wanted to get a developmental contract. You know, WWE had their eyes on OVW talent. And, that was the gold mine right there if you wanted to get a contract. If you had a good look, if you had a good character or personality or charisma, the WWE was going to sort out for you.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like back then, it's almost like saying if you're a talent, want to get signed today, you basically stay to Orlando. But back then, it seems I thought it was like you signed a contract, but they have to see you in OVW first, get your feet wet. Then you can head to the main roster.
Their setup was they had a beginners class, amateurs class, an intermediate class, and then they had the contract class. And if you're just walking in the door brand new, you have to work your way up the ranks, and those classes cost money. And I worked my way up through the ranks. I started off in the beginners class, then the advanced class, intermediate class, and the contract class, and then eventually I got a contract when I got on TV, on local TV at OVW.
Yeah. 'Cause I know they had their own TV stuff. I watched the CM Punk DVD, and he mentioned his time in OVW and his rivals and all that stuff, and then going back to watch the CM Punk stuff. I mean, OVW seemed like it was pretty cool back then, you know. Were you there at the time or no?
Sold out the arenas.
Yeah. Were you there at the time when Punk was there? Or...
Oh yeah. I worked Punk in OVW, I believe, twice.
Twice, yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you something, because you were with CM Punk during the time, you could say the developmental times, but now we all know where he is in the UFC world now. In your honest opinion, how do you think he will do it in UFC? You think he will succeed, or hopefully, I don't want to be mean to anything, but you think it will be the other way, not succeeding, kind of, you say, almost like how Brock Lesnar ended his UFC career. In your honest opinion, how do you think he'll do in the UFC?
I think he's going to do pretty well, because something about wrestlers in general, and especially like guys like CM Punk, where they put their head to something, they achieve it. Like with wrestlers, we are all wrestling fans. We are all marks. We are all fans in heart. But we had something a little bit different about us that made us chase this dream. And same thing, we're headstrong, and we go after what we want. So I'm thinking the same thing that Punk is going to do right now as we speak. He's probably in the gym training, getting ready for his first match. So I definitely think that he's going to put up I don't know if he's going to win or lose, but I think he's definitely going to put up a good fight. And if he doesn't, you can call me back and say, you can laugh. You can throw it to my face. Yeah. But I definitely think he's going to put up a good fight, his first match.
All right. Hold on. I got a question from one of our boys, Skits. He wants me to ask you. Actually, I know who always run OVW was Rip Rogers. He basically was asking who was running OVW, and how, and I guess you already said or explained how it was like working with them. But was Rip Rogers running OVW at that time?
Yes, I got majority of my training with Rip. My in-ring and psychology was from Rip. And right before I got called up to WWE, I was training with Al Snow. And Al Snow taught me how to, in WWE, there's so much going around that you have to be cognizant about, like the referee, times, camera angles, branding your character, and the business aspect. And that's what Al taught Chad and I before, and what he taught everybody else who got called up, that part about the business.
Yeah, and he just added another question about, I guess Paul Heyman and Jim Cornette at the time was running or was involved in OVW. How was it like working with them?
Jim Cornette was there a majority of the time that I was there, but towards the end, he was gone because of an incident that he had.
Yeah.
But then Paul Heyman came and he turned things around for the good. And he's such an evil genius, and he's the one that actually put Shad and I together as a tag team. And he's the one who coined me Neighbor Hoodie. At the time, I did not like the name, but when Paul Heyman, you get in a shot, and if your boss says, "Do you like that?" You say, "Yeah, of course I love it." He called me Neighbor Hoodie.
Okay.
And yeah, he put.
He's the genius of Paul Heyman.
You gotta say I'm a Paul Heyman guy. Because if it wasn't for him, I would definitely not be where I am today.
All right. I see how brilliant mind Paul Heyman is. I know me and Tom always over here, we talk about Paul Heyman, what a brilliant mind he is. And sometimes I feel like I wish he could be involved with the creative team today, which he's not. He just basically Brock Lesnar's manager today. But I wish he still could be involved with the creative team. today. But, oh, well, things happen. All right, I'm going to go pass it back to Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I got actually a couple questions from my buddies who texted me and they're listening to the show. They want to know, JTG, you're still a young guy, and obviously, you know, you're busy with acting and writing your book and all that. But if you were to return to wrestling anytime soon, is there a certain company that you would just love to go work for that you see potential in?
Right now, I have no desire to go back on the road full time. But if I was to go back to wrestling, it will probably have something to do with Lucha Underground because it's only 20 minutes from my house. And that's a majority of the reason why I don't want to go back on the road full time because of the traveling. And Lucha Underground, like I said, is right in Los Angeles. They shoot, they knock out a couple of episodes, and I'm back with my family. So if anything, it will be Lucha Underground.
Tell me this, if you were to go to Lucha Underground and they told you, they said, all right, we're going to give you the book on what you want to be, you can pick your name, you can pick all that, what would you want to be? Would you want to still be kind of a JTG, or what direction would you want to go in with a new character?
It will be a totally new direction, something that the fans will not recognize until, you know, it's out on the dirt sheets. It will be something totally different.
That sounds good, but sounds like you're keeping busy, so that's always good. So, yeah. All right, Oscar, pass it back to you. I know we got to finish up pretty shortly because JTG, as we can see, he's a busy man. We can't keep him here all night.
Yeah, we know that. We know that. Yeah, we know that. I just got a couple of final questions for him. But before that, I asked my final questions. I want our listeners to know that if they have anything to ask JTG about him or his book, you better do it now because they're not going to have him on the rest of the show. So, yeah, either call us up at 347-945-5566 or tweet us at Wrestlingheads if you have anything you want to know about JTG and his book. All right. My final question is I'm going to ask you.
Any of you guys, real quick, did any of you guys read the book yet?
I'm planning to.
I've bought it, but honestly, I don't have time with watching because I watch a shit ton of wrestling, to be honest. With watching that, yeah. I'm trying to find an hour or two of my time where I can sit down and just relax. But I mean, I've been up since 6 a.m. doing all sorts of crazy stuff throughout the day. So probably this weekend I'll get to it because that's my quietest time. So definitely by this weekend I'll read it.
Reading it, you don't want to put it. You're not going to want to put it down.
Oh, definitely, and I'll definitely be sure when I finish it this weekend. Most likely, I'll be sure to tweet it out to you.
All right, cool. Sounds good. Now, sorry to interrupt you. What was your questions?
Yeah, I was going to ask you two more questions, actually. It's funny that Tom was asking you what company you would like to work for, and you said Lucha Underground. But there's a couple of companies that out there that maybe could be interesting, but let me ask you one company, TNA, which they don't do that much road. I don't think they'll do that much house shows that much anymore. It's just basically you do the TV taping, let's say, just Philadelphia. You just do a couple days there and you go back home. Is that something that you like to work with? Is TNA like something you like to head out there?
Yeah, if they're talking good money, you know, right now I'm a businessman. So everything's got to be business first. And so, you know, when I came into the business, I was 21. I was young. I wasn't really thinking about business. I was just thinking about fulfilling my childhood dream and being in front of millions of people on TV and thousands live. Now I got that out the system. Let's talk money.
Yeah,
that's what it is. That's what it is right now. And if anything, if I was to go back to TNA or any wrestling organization, I had a lot of fun doing the tag team division. You know, that's a lost art. And I definitely believe Shad and I could bring it back to life.
Yeah, because right now, how I see in TNA, I feel like their tag team division is kind of struggling due to the fact that they got guys injured. Like Jeff Hardy, unfortunately got his leg broken. Eddie Edwards barely came back, and there's the Wolves out there. There was all these rumors about the Bucks. They're trying to bring the Young Bucks in or bring them back, but they turn it down now. Hopefully they can bring in more tag team talent. They can help out that tag team division. We just don't want to see like, okay, just don't go at 3 teams. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully they can pick that up there. Another company that's been making some headlines lately is Global Force Wrestling, which I'm not sure how they're doing it, but they're doing some TV tapings. But funny is that they don't have a network. But they're also doing house shows. But you just said right now, you're not first to go back on the road. But they're not like, okay, WWE type thing. They just have some live shows going on, and that's about it. I don't think they don't have shows after August, if I'm not mistaken. But and the Global Force did sign some great talents like the Young Bucks and the tag team. What we all see here in California in PWG, the Best Friends. He signed them too, so if that's something you might like to work with in Global Force Wrestling, or you can work with, you could say Mr. Jeff Jarrett there.
Yeah, man. If the money's right, if you're talking the right amount of zeros, I would definitely work with Jeff Jarrett. Everything right now is about money, and it's right down there. I heard that the headquarters are in Vegas, correct?
Yeah, I think it's in Vegas.
It's only 3 hours away from me, so if I could go to Vegas and come back that same night, I could drive 3 hours to come back to my family. So yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see a Crime Time versus Young Bucks match or Bullet Club match.
Yeah. Maybe stuff is in the works, but I can't talk about it. Maybe it's a surprise. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Let's start the rumors now.
Go ahead and start the rumors.
All right. Okay, well, this is my final question I'm going to ask you. I usually ask you're the second ex-WWE star I'm going to ask you this. The last person I asked this was Brian Kendrick. We had him on here. But the next one I'm going to ask you, because I do have the WWE Network. Tonight, before I go to sleep, which JTG match or Crime Time match I should watch on the WWE Network before I go to sleep?
You should watch the cell I did with Santino. Okay. That was one of my cells ever.
What was this event? Was this on a pay-per-view or Raw? Or?
It was actually on Superstars, and that's the one. That was my last match.
Okay. Basically, watch your last match on the WWE. Okay, I'll look for that up on the network.
and that was the cell that got me. The cell at the end of that match. I don't know if you know what a cell is. But that cell at the end of that match was the one that probably got me sent home for a year.
Oh. Damn. All right. Okay, I'll look into that. All right, so Tom, you have a final question for me?
I don't. I just got to say, JTG, thank you for coming on. It was an honor to have you on. You seem like one of the most humble guys out there, so it was good talking to you. But I do got to say, to all the people that haven't read your book or thinking about buying your book, if you could describe your book to nobody who's read it before in one word, how would you describe it?
I would have to describe it as entertaining from beginning to end. You would not want to put the book down, and that's what I've been hearing consecutively on Twitter and on different articles. Once you start, it's addictive.
Definitely. And also for those of you that aren't using Twitter as much, you said on Twitter that you might be doing an audio version of the book for the people maybe traveling in the gym. What's the update on that?
Update on that, I'm just waiting for the studio to get back to me and a producer, and I'm going to get to work on that. Hopefully it should be done by next week.
That's awesome, because I know that everybody loves to listen to things, whether they're on the road, in the car, at the gym, or just chilling out at home. So that's going to do even better for you. So I wish you the best of luck. It was great talking to you, man, and best of luck with whatever you do in the future.
All right, thank you. I want to tell you guys thank you for having me on the show, and that you guys had some very creative and unique questions, and I always appreciate that from interviewers.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Before we let you go, do you like to give out some plugs for our listeners? Like, you want to give out your Twitters or any
definitely.
information how to get push your book?
My Twitter is JTG1284. My Instagram is JTG121084, and I'll be doing a Q&A real soon on the book. So follow me for any updates. And what's going to be unique about this Q&A is that I'll be interacting with fans using a new application on Android and iOS called Earsay, EARSAYE, and that's an audio app that lets you record 15-second clips, and while you're recording, use sound effects from their library. And they have over 100 sound effects that's trending today, and I'm going to be putting out some interesting sound bites answering fans' questions. So I'm looking forward to doing that and having fun with my Twitter followers.
All right, then. Well, thanks for coming on. Hopefully we could have you again in the future. And I hope I see you down the road. I do go to Lucha Underground, so I hope I see you out there, maybe even perform in the ring in there. So
maybe global.
See you soon, man.
All right.
Down the street. All right, then.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
You guys have a good night.
All right,
Peace.
Good night, man. Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was JTG. Start the rumors. Maybe he's heading to Global Force Wrestling.
Get on those dirt sheets. Start typing out your little blogs on the dirt sheets, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Crowd Time vs. Young Bucks is happening. It's happening." And I know JTG is gonna have a good laugh about that. But once again, another great guest here on Wrestlingheads Radio. You know, it's very rare that you'll find somebody who's, you know, negative or doesn't want to do these interviews, and they're kind of like sour. But man, JTG he seems like he's really happy, and he's doing a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, if you would have told me back in 2006 when I was a 13-year-old kid that one half of Crime Time is going to be writing a book, I'd be like, you're crazy.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, we're going to take a commercial break, but when we come back, we'll talk some more Global Force Wrestling and rumors you've been hearing, you know, because we just said, oh, yeah, start the rumors, baby. But we'll talk about some more Global Force rumors and more announcements they make. And before we do that, and the commercial I'm about to play is Monday. We're having a returning guest, and you don't want to miss that. So the soundbite I'm going to play is that's the person we're going to bring back. So we'll be right back.
This is Biff Busick, CZW World Champion, and you're listening to Wrestlingheads Radio, the greatest podcast in the history of the Internet.
All right, well, welcome back to Wrestlingheads Radio, and that was Biff Busick. And yes, Monday we'll be having Biff Busick back on Wrestlingheads Radio. Monday night after Raw, and then the night after Payback. So Mr. Busick's going to come with us talking about some DDT4 and see what else he has coming up. So you don't want to miss that out. I know Tom is happy that Mr. Biff Busick is coming back Monday night.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Biff's one of the best on the indie scene. He's all over the place. But one of the best, though. He's one of the nicest guys. I got a chance to chat with him with a little bit at Interspecies Wrestling a couple months ago. One of the chillest guys.
Yeah, it was a great time. I actually hanged around him a lot during WrestleMania week when I saw him at Evolve. And then I saw him in the streets of San Jose walking around with Ethan Page and them. And then he recognized me, and we were like, they're just pretty much trying to party and all that stuff. So it was pretty cool. So we're going to bring back Mr. Biff Busick Monday, so you don't want to miss that out. But anyways, Tom, Mr. JTG brought up some rumors when we had him on earlier. I guess we're going to talk about some Global Force now. I guess this past week, I don't know if you heard the news, that they announced Trent is going to be joining the roster. And that means, well, it was funny that Chuck Taylor tweeted, not Chuck Taylor, Global Force tweeted that Chuck Taylor's best friend's coming. That's Trent, pretty much. So the tag team of the best friends are going to be teaming up in Global Force. I was going to ask you something about that, but I want to ask you this first. What's your thoughts of Trent joining the roster now?
Awesome. Another great talent coming to Global Force Wrestling. And, it's funny because I was blasting Global Force when they announced the first roster, when they were having the big reveal that one day. I was blasting them, and I still stand by that. I'm not going to change my opinion on that, but now they're adding better talent after, and it's that's getting me more interested in it. I mean, Trent is one of the most, entertaining guys out there, whether he's doing Best Friends with Chuck Taylor or Roppongi Vice with Rocky Romero, or whether he was doing single action when he was in Evolve. So it's just going to add more incentive, I think, for people to kind of tune in because of how entertaining he can be. And it looks like, the Best Friends are going to be in Global Force. We don't know that for sure. It's not confirmed, but,
it sounds like it is confirmed. It sounds like it's confirmed because on that tweet it says Chuck Taylor's bringing his best friend, and was Trent. That's how they announced it. I think it's kind of confirmed. It's not official because they didn't announce I think they're going to bring him as the best friend. I really think so.
Okay, well, regardless, having the best friends in there, entertaining tag team, they were loved in PWG, so smart move by them. And you can definitely see now the ties that Global Force has with New Japan because RBG Vice, they are working Ring of Honor, but their main thing is in New Japan. And it's really weird because you have Ring of Honor guys going to Global Force, and Ring of Honor guys also work with New Japan. And then, you have New Japan guys who work for Ring of Honor are now working with Global Force. So it's like this big, I can't even call it a circle because it's just this weird mashup of what's going on in Global Force. It's very interesting. I'll be very interested to see if they bring in any actual New Japan guys such as Tanahashi, Nakamura, Okada, etc. If they can bring in those guys for some shows, or if it's just the Gaijins that they can get from New Japan, like the Bullet Club and all that. So it would be very interesting to see how this whole relationship is going to be with Global Force and New Japan.
Yeah, because they did sign some kind of deal with New Japan and AAA. That's the question now. That's the next question, or that's a question we're all going to say to each other. When are they going to announce any New Japan or AAA talent next? When they're going to do that? But my next question I want to ask you, Tom, now that the Best Friends are confirmed and the Young Bucks, and that rumor is still going around about Roderick Strong probably joining the roster, do you feel that they're trying to use the PW or try to take all those PWG talent so people could go to their show on July 24th instead of going to PWG show on the 24th? Maybe
that's the case. I don't know. It could be that they are trying to sway people to get from PWG to there, but I think the main problem with that is you're dealing with PWG, and they're probably the hottest thing going on the indie scene right now as far as the company goes. They most likely sell the most DVDs. I'm not sure. We don't know the case with that, but I'd have to imagine that they probably do. And, their tickets sell out within minutes. You know this. You and Skits know this very well, how quick tickets go for PWG. You got to be really quick on the computer to get those tickets quick, or you're not going to be able to go. But I don't think it would really matter because there's only so much talent that they can grab. They can't grab the whole PWG roster because no matter who they try to take away, If they do get, say, like a guy like Roderick Strong and he can only work Global Force that day, okay, that's fine. We'll put somebody else in there. If they say, because today they also signed Andrew Everett, so that's another PWG guy. They could take him and they could take him away. But then PWG says, well, we have Mike Bailey. And PWG, they're just going to keep bringing in new talent. And the thing is, when PWG brings in new talent, no matter who it is, it's always going to be good talent. So when they announce new names, people get, I think, even more excited. They're like, oh man, I love that. I love that guy, or I love those guys because they're near to me, or I've seen them perform in other companies, and now they're going to be in PWG, which is where a lot of wrestlers now on the indie scene are looking to go to. So maybe Global Force is trying to do that, but it's not going to matter because PWG is still going to be PWG. They're going to grab up whoever they want. So, yeah, let Global Force take who they want, but PWG is also just going to keep bringing in new talent if talent gets booked on their shows. So I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. But I'll tell you this, though. It'll be very interesting that if they confirmed Roderick Strong to show up on the tapings on the July 24th show, and we all know he's the PWG champion, that'll be very interesting if they could do that. So wait and see. But if they do that, holy shit, then I don't want to say it's a war, but you can say it's a small war going on between PWG and Global Force only for that day because they're trying to bring people to go to that show. And that kind of shows me more that you take their champion to their show. That kind of shows me like that's the nail in the coffin. They're trying to freaking bring people to their show. That's on me saying that that's going to happen.
You know, another thing with PWG, I've never been there, but you and Skits have been there for years now, and just as much as the talent is a part of PWG, it's that whole environment in Reseda. It's that whole PWG environment that separates it. It's kind of, I don't want to completely compare it to ECW back in the day, but it's kind of like that, where it's its own entity, where the Legion Hall in Reseda is becoming, quite infamous among wrestling fans who watch indie wrestling. You know, how many people go to indie shows across the country? Not many people. You might do it for a WrestleMania or a big WWE event or something like that, but an independent promotion, very, very rare. So when you hear people talking, from the East Coast, from Canada, from all over the United States, I've heard even international people coming down to California and going to PWG. When you have that, it shows what your company is. So I don't know what Global Force is trying to do, if they are trying to sabotage PWG or whatever. But once again, like I just said, it doesn't matter because you could lose, you could lose a top guy like Roderick Strong, and it would be a big blow, obviously because he's champion. But the PWG will find a way around it. They'll bring in another guy. They'll bring in a top guy. They probably could have the money and all that to do it. So they could probably bring in whoever they wanted.
All right. Well, we got somebody on hold right now. That might want to talk about this, but we got Mr. W.H. Skits. What's going on, Skits?
What up? What's goody? Rain delay here at the stadium.
Sweet. I hope you can join us for a while, but we just had JTG on earlier. He was pretty cool. Too bad you missed out on that, but
I just want to praise you guys for a great interview. I listened to a great interview. Probably the best interview so far of the year.
Awesome. All right, thanks a lot, man. But right now, me and Tom were talking that how Global Force announced more names to the roster, and it's interesting that the names we brought up, we've seen them at PWG. Like they announced Trent earlier in the week, and today they announced Andrew Everett. So we were discussing: is it the Jarrett or the heads of Global Force trying to bring up PWG talent to maybe make people say, come to our show instead of PWG on the July 24th show, because the Roderick Strong rumor is still out there. So if somehow they bring in Roderick Strong for the taping instead of having him go to PWG, I think that would be really interesting. I don't know. What's your take on that, Skip?
Honestly, I just think Global Force is just trying to bring some of the best talent in the world to their promotion. It really doesn't matter. I don't think they care what PWG is doing. They're focused on their product only. I mean, they're probably throwing more money, more bank, I
know. I'm pretty sure that's why.
At the end of the day. So I really don't think it's no competition or anything. I mean, they want to make an impact.
I don't want to say
I just think they want to make
with PWG.
I just think they're trying to make an impact, They're trying to make an impact, bringing like some of the best in the world. That's all.
Yeah, and I said something before you came on. I want to see if you can agree with me. I said Global Force can take a couple top guys from PWG, but it won't matter because PWG can keep bringing in all these new guys, and it's still going to be the same. You can probably agree with that because you go to PWG all the time, right?
Yeah. I can definitely agree with you. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to Global Force too. They got the Bucks over there. It's going to be a good deal for them too. So
best friends.
It's a good deal for. I mean, it's a good deal for wrestling. Period.
And it's funny because speaking of the Bucks, I believe Monday we were talking about the Bucks and PWG and when they're going to be back. Apparently, some fans were asking them on Twitter, and they said they couldn't talk about it. But it doesn't look like they're going to be returning to PWG anytime soon. If their tweets indicate something, I don't know if it was legitimate. I don't know if they're working us or whatever. But it's something interesting to look at.
Yeah, and what's funny is that about a week ago we were talking about all these companies trying to sign exclusive deals, and it got broke out today that they turned down TNA's offer. I'm pretty it was expected because I'm pretty sure TNA was giving them a shitty offer anyway. And why would they want to go to TNA? But there's probably still other offers around. Maybe Ring of Honor got something to do with it. But
it's funny that you mentioned Oscar. It's funny you mentioned TNA because I believe the Bucks are going to 2CW, right? And they did a promo on Bad Influence or Addiction, and it was like, we used to do shows back at that crappy promotion down in Orlando with you guys. Like they were like burying TNA. So
apparently, I believe when was it? Night 2 when it was the Addiction versus Okada and Ghetto. I believe it was Night 2 of War of the Worlds that just happened last night. There was fuck TNA chants, and I think it was Christopher Daniels kind of pointed to Okada, and Okada started laughing and all that. So I thought that was hilarious when people were tweeting that out.
You know what's funny? When I go to some shows, when I see the Addiction, I mean, ever since they got released, it's almost like they almost try to like defend TNA when they chant fuck TNA. Like you say yourself, kids. The shows.
Well, I saw
you try to kill the chant.
They did that at House of Hardcore, but at PWG it was the opposite.
Yeah, did that. They did it on PWG too. They told the crowd to say, oh, hold on, PWG. Like they try to make the crowd chant something else. But I mean, I understand why they're doing it. They don't want to bury bridges with TNA, but I've seen it a couple of times with my own eyes. They try to stop the chant,
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them also bury him too. I think it's more Frankie Kazarian. It seems like he's the one that defends it more than Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll see. But we'll see about the Bucks if they're ever return to PWG. They'll be
back. Trust me, they'll be back. If anybody in the world thinks they're not coming back, jump off a bridge because they're definitely coming back.
They
follow each other still.
Okay.
They still follow each other on Twitter. You know, they play a big part of the promotion.
Well, following each other don't mean anything. I mean, Sami Zayn follows PWG, and he follow each other too. You don't see Sami Zayn come back to PWG. So. But
Sami Zayn is also El Generico too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, you said they follow each other. Doesn't mean they're gonna come back, but who knows? Maybe the Bucks are playing.
It's the Bucks. It's the Bucks. They'll be back.
All right. Well, you said it right now in May. They'll be back. If I don't see them by December, I'm reminding you that.
It's the Young Bucks.
But anyway,
that's all to say.
But anyways, I'm gonna go back to Global Force. It was reported earlier that we all know that Moose and Tyrus, aka Brodus Clay, is being part of the roster. But
who's that guy?
You know who it is. Come on, man. Brodus Clay. Come on, man. But a lot of people were asking, how did Moose and Brodus Clay join the roster when they got all these contracts with Ring of Honor and TNA out there? I mean, we all know Dixie Carter wants their talent to work at Global Force, but I think what happened was Brodus Clay made a deal with Global Force before Dixie made some kind of meeting, like they don't want no one to work at Global Force, whatever. So I guess the deal was set, but I guess they worked with some agreement that he cannot work in the television tapings, but only on the house shows. And I guess the thing with Moose with Ring of Honor, he can't do television taping. He will be doing house shows only. But that's kind of weird though. But I'm hopefully like other talents that has other contracts. I mean, Roderick Strong's still out there. He could join the thing, but he's not contracted with Ring of Honor. But do you think I still think it's a good thing for having guys show up in their house shows, or do that, or you think that they can help out their house shows more than their tapings?
I could see them bringing in TNA guys for house shows to kind of get some name recognition out there. And, you know, when they do TV, they want to stick with their main core guys. I could see that happening. It's very interesting. It's very interesting, this whole deal that's going on. And it's funny because, you know, TNA is allowing their talents to do iPay-per-views. And that's very interesting to me because Global Force is this company that's supposed to be, like, you know, up to date with everything, which we've criticized them because they aren't. You know, the day of their reveal, of the roster reveal, they were barely in social media. You know, their website isn't the most up-to-date, prettiest looking thing. And, you know, nowadays, you know, we're hearing, you know, that Global Force might do pay-per-views instead of iPay-per-views. And you have to think, well, how many people are going to get pay-per-views? Because Ring of Honor's last pay-per-view, Final Battle, I think did like 8,000 buys, which was down from, I think, the 10 or 11,000 that they got from Best in the World. So you have to think, what's the better option, pay-per-view or iPay-per-view? I don't know, this whole Global Force, it's, you know, I've said it a million times, even though they're giving us more stuff each day, there's still more questions than we have answers. And, you know, we're still kind of, we're still 3 months out from their first show. So, you know, we might have more stuff in that time, but you do kind of want a little bit more so people have an incentive to go to these shows so they know, oh, this is what it's about. And for the people not going, you know, you can say, all right, well, that day I'll be buying a pay-per-view, or I know it'll be on TV at that time. I don't know. It's just like we need answers, I think, pretty soon, or else I think it's going to kind of start fading from people's minds.
So about the pay-per-view thing, I mean, I feel like, to me, in my opinion, I feel like any company could do a pay-per-view easily. It's not like how in the 90s where it was hard for ECW to get on pay-per-view. I think any company can get it easily. Even Lucha Underground, if they want to go that route, they could do it easily now these days. Not because WWE has their own network. TNA barely do pay-per-views now. They're letting Ring of Honor doing pay-per-views. I'm pretty sure other companies that want to do pay-per-view could do them. So if Goldberg want to do them, they could do it. If Lucha Underground want to do it, they could do it as well. It's pretty much up to them. And don't forget, Global Force has a relationship with AAA. So what if they want to bring Triple Mania to English pay-per-view? I could see that. I could see them doing it.
I don't know. It's like I said. It's tough. Pay-per-views are, they can be done, but pay-per-views are also essential because a lot of people don't want to be watching it on their TV. That's just how some people are. Some people want to be watching it on their laptop or tablet or whatever. They'd rather be doing that. So it's definitely really weird. And, Wrestle Kingdom 9, that was on pay-per-view. I got that on pay-per-view because I know it was going to be the best show of the year, which probably is going to be. And I believe that did, I think, 14,000 buys. And, that was pretty good because 15,000 buys was over what they expected. I think they were expecting 10,000 buys because there was no advertising except on the internet. So that was pretty good. But at the same time, it's New Japan. A lot of people know New Japan more than they know about probably what Global Force is doing. So I don't know. It's weird. It's going to be interesting to see what tactic Global Force goes from here on out.
I have something to say. Since we're talking about Global Force so much, somebody that's in Global Force that the WWE is interested in, Sonata. How would you guys feel if he goes to NXT?
Fuck. I would like it, but interesting to see, what would they do? How would his career do it in the WWE? Example, he comes in, it's not like I want to be excited, how Dave and Tommy is. I like Sonata a lot, but for some reason, I don't feel excitement. Do I feel like he's going to be having a lot of success in NXT? I don't know. I mean, I like him, but I just don't know. Because because it's a lot of fear in me of what WWE will do. Maybe the only thing I'm afraid of, when they bring him there, they have nothing for him. That's my only fear about him going to WWE. I know the money's good, but that's my only fear for him joining the roster. I'm thinking to have something for him.
Yeah, Sonata's weird because from what we saw on TNA, I didn't really see much out of him. And with the Tommy, you can see why they brought him in because he's an exciting wrestler. He has, the name attached to him. He has, the global presence that he has. Sonata doesn't really have that type of, status that Hideo Itami has. And with the Tommy, it's you don't really need to put a certain character on him. You just have to make him an ass kicker, which that's what he was with Kenta. He used to kick people's heads in. But with Sonata, it's they're going to have to put a character on him, and it's going to be weird to see if he goes to WWE what they would do with that. I mean, if I had to choose, this is me just kind of.
They can still have him as a great Sonata.
No, hell no. I don't think that's gonna happen. No way.
The only way that they could do that is if they got Muta into WWE, which I don't think that's happening unless he gets a Hall of Fame induction.
Because we know majority of the guys that get signed are from Japan or are known. like they always had that interview with Renee Young, and she mentions where they used to wrestle. You know?
Yeah, but he can't say he was in TNA. He's not going to say that. And
they're not going to say that. They're going to mention Wrestle 1.
Yeah, but you can't put the Great Sonata character on him because people don't know who the Great Muta is. A lot of WWE fans have no idea who the hell Great Muta is. They have no idea.
So they should. I think a lot of older fans do.
That's probably the kids. That's probably kids, but people like
there's also a lot of casual, adult WWE fans who have no idea about Japanese wrestling. They have no idea.
I mean, Great Sonata was. Well, Great Muta wasn't WCW. I mean, they should know who he is, and some. Well,
yeah, that's only if they were watching WWE.
But you have guys like Cole and like Booker T and JBL could tell a story. They tell stories about, they can hype them up. Like
you think those guys are going to tell a story? They can barely call a fucking match because Vince is yelling in their ear. You think Vince is going to want them to tell a story? Absolutely fucking not. No way.
Well, I can tell you this though. I mean, going back to Sonata, that Great Sonata gimmick ain't gonna happen in WWE. No way in hell.
Well, still, regardless, the dude will have good matches regardless in NXT.
Yeah,
I mean,
great matches.
Honestly, if I had to pick and choose, this is no offense to the Great Sonata, but if I'm going to bring in new Japanese talent, he's not somebody that I would want to bring in. I would look at like Dragon Gate in New Japan, and there's a ton of guys there's a lot of older guys in there, so you can't really bring them in. But in Dragon Gate, look at Tozawa. Tozawa is staying really young.
There's another Japanese
I think Tozawa would be a perfect fit in WWE.
There's another Japanese name that was out there last year that they were interested in. That was Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, Ibushi would fit in, I think, with WWE because you don't really have to explain his background. All you have to do is see what he can do in the ring, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm hooked. It's kind of like in the same sense Neville.
I don't want to compare him. I don't want to compare him to this person, but he'll be exciting like another Kofi Kingston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like exciting, like at the Rumble or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see where you're going with that. I just think Kota Ibushi is more complete than Kofi Kingston.
Well, we know what he can do in the ring, but I'm talking about like for the casual fans. You know what I mean? Like he'll be exciting, stuff like that. Like how he could be like another, not like another Adrian Neville, but you know how Neville likes to just do his leaps over the ring. Kota Ibushi would do something like that too. You know what I mean? Fans like that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
For the casual fans is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How you guys also? There's something else I want to talk about real quick. Is possible Daniel Bryan may take a role without being inside the ring.
Well, we kind of talked about that on Monday's show. That should be the great move for him if he's not sure when he's coming back anytime soon. Like, I don't know who got the idea of the Shawn Michaels type role, like when he had that back injury. I don't know, was that you, Tom, or Matt that brought it up? But if anything, if he has to stay out of the ring for a year, fuck it. Let him.
Because they still want to sell merchandise and stuff for him.
Yeah. I mean, the best way you could do it is maybe do a GM role for him. But he doesn't have to dress corporate. Make him wear one of those Daniel Bryan shirts. Almost like Austin when he was the GM, but you don't have to dress all corporate, not to wear a suit or anything like that. He can do pretty much whatever he wants. Like the face authority figure, something like that. He could be doing whatever he wants and have fun with it. Let him do that.
Yeah. You guys watch NXT?
I did.
Right? I mean, I did watch NXT, but I mean, I love NXT. They're doing great things. I heard they had a great event in Philly tonight. But Lucha Under fucking Ground, Jack Evans' debut, and spoiler alert to all the people that haven't watched Lucha Underground yet. If you don't want to hear what I'm going to say, mute for a minute or two, a couple seconds. But Mundo turning heel and throwing Del Rio through the glass, absolutely amazing. Holy shit!
You know what's funny you mentioned that, Tom, because Lucha actually spoiled it themselves by putting the GIF out.
Yeah. I mean, they do that, but I mean, it was still great. I mean, perfectly executed. Nobody saw it come. Like, if you weren't there, you didn't see it coming, I don't think. And if you didn't read the spoilers, you didn't know it was coming. So it was greatly executed. It was good to see, like I said, Jack Evans in there. He's doing great stuff. Pentagon Jr. is still tearing shit up. I mean, the guy is too fucking good.
Pentagon's the fucking man.
Yeah, I wasn't at that show when they did that, but Jack Evans debut, and you'll see more Jack Evans. But let me ask you something, Tom. What you think of his heel character in Lucha Underground?
I think it's great. You look at Pentagon Jr., and he's just like, he's the simplest type of heel in the sense that he just beats the shit out of everybody. He injures people, all that. And then now we have kind of a different heel in Johnny Mundo, where he's going to be this, I can see it. He's going to be this cocky, arrogant type of heel. So it's gonna help fit into the mold of Lucha Underground, and I like seeing the different
Morrison when he first debuted it.
Yeah, and I think it's good to see different type of heels into Lucha Underground, and I mean that Johnny Mundo El Patron feud is going to be pretty fucking good.
I don't care what nobody says. A lot of people talk. There's a lot of people that talk mess about Morrison, but the dude stepped up big time since he signed to Lucha. He's not the same when he was in WWE.
Yeah, but I feel it has to do with Lucha. They're trying to do different things, like what when we had Chris and Joseph here. They're trying to do their own thing and different things. It's their world compared to AAA's world. They're making Sexy Star the babyface, which used to heel at Lucha. I mean, at AAA. That's what they're doing. It seems like a little spoiler, you can say, but it seems like they try to make Willie Mack a heel, but the problem is the crowd in Lucha are familiar with him, and they just don't want to boo him. They just want to keep cheering for him, and they just say, you know what, fuck it. Let's just keep him as a babyface, fuck it. So you'll see more Willie Mack. I know he had a funny backstage segment with Big Rick on that little backstage statement they had in Lucha Underground last night's episode, but yeah, I think that was funny. Hey, cousin, give me that green.
Hey, I got to give props to Brian Cage too. Cage is killing it over there too.
Yeah, I just can't wait for you guys to check out Ultima Lucha. It was a great event. When that happens on TV, you guys gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it. Every match is according to Skits don't like hardcore matches, but if you like mixer shit, you guys will enjoy it.
I'm looking forward to that cup, the trio tag.
Oh, the Lucha Libre World Cup. Yeah, we talked about it the other day.
Yeah. And then, when I saw that card, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and then next week, Trio's title is on the line in a fucking ladder match. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be wild.
Ivelisse, real quick, I just want to say, Ivelisse, if you're listening, contact us. We want to interview you.
You know what? I wish we could, like, bring in, like, everybody from Lucha Underground, like, every single fucking person, because they're all so, like, different. And
hold on. Can you speak, Tom, can you speak Spanish? Because if you're going to bring everybody, we got to talk Pentagon Jr. in Spanish, Phoenix in Spanish. I don't know if you can speak Spanish.
Listen, I'll tell you this much. I took 4 years of Spanish in high school, and I don't remember much from it because they suck at teaching Spanish in high school. They absolutely suck at it. But I do know some, but I don't know. Listen, if we tried to set up an interview with Pentagon Jr., I'm pretty sure he'd break our arm. He'd just be like, no interview, snap our arm. So, you know what? I want to stay healthy. I want to stay pretty healthy.
All right. But, yeah, Lucha still is killing it out there. But, yeah, see what happens. And, yes, I would be careful when you're on the streets of L.A. because looks like the Clippers are going to advance. So, hope there's no Clipper ride.
Well, gentlemen, I'm about to head out. I just want to mention, ladies and gentlemen, next Monday, Biff Busick here on WHRadio talking ABC4 Alpha 1. I'm just going to mention it again. And let's make sure you guys listen in. Hashtag WHRadio. Peace.
All right, take care, kids. Later.
That was Skits, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at WHSkits. Make sure you do it. But
yes, definitely.
Moving on.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I was thinking let's take one more commercial break, and when we come back, let's do I know Payback's this Sunday. Let's do a little Payback prediction when we come back.
Yeah. Well, we'll do some Payback predictions really quick. I have an Evolve card for Evolve, I believe, 43. Yeah, Evolve 43. I have the card up. And Smash Wrestling, the card for their big event this Sunday. So we'll be talking about that.
Yeah. So we'll be. We need to take a look at how much break. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, Red Dragon, Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. We just happen to be the best tag team on planet Earth, and you are listening to Wrestlingheads Radio.
Hey guys, this is Pikachu, and I'm challenging Wrestlingheads Radio to a Pokemon battle. Boom, baby.
Yeah, boom, baby, all right. That was too young there. Yes, I'd like to have her back on one of these days. But anyways, before we go to SummerSlam predictions, you want to talk about the Evolve cards, right?
Yes, so WWN Live and Gabe Sapolsky, they put out the card for Evolve 43 that's going to be happening May 30th over there in Queens, New York. I'm either trying to go to that show or the one in Long Island, so keep a lookout to see if I'm going to be going there. But here are the matches. We got the Dragon Gate USA Open the Freedom Gate title is on the line as Drew Galloway is defending against our guest this Monday on WHRadio, Mr. Biff Busick. That's going to be a hell of a match. And we also got Johnny Gargano and Rich Swann doing an open challenge for the Open United Gate Champions. Davey Richards taking on Caleb Connolly. A rematch from PWG. We got Chris Effin Hero taking on Trevor Lee. TJP, TJ Perkins, taking on Mike Bailey. Anthony Nese, Ray Horace. That should be a good one as well. Drew Gulak. We'll probably have the full card for both events as we get closer to the events at the end of May. So be sure to tune in for that. Evolve is still doing big things, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great event. I mean, had fun in that one they had in San Jose. I had fun out there. But if you guys never been in an Evolve show, anybody from New York listening, you got to be there. Fuck it, Tom. Go to both shows. Fuck it, bro. I went to both shows with Skits.
I'm trying.
All right. Definitely. what is going on this weekend? Smash Wrestling, right?
Yes, Smash Wrestling, who are partners at the Weekly Wrestling Podcast, are one of the sponsors for this big event going on. Gold, 2015, Gauntlet for the Gold, Smash Wrestling, where the winner is going to be facing the Smash Wrestling champion, whoever that may be, at Super Showdown, which is going on later in the year. So May 17th, this Sunday. Make sure you check it out, because if you're in Canada, look at some of these matches. Chris Hero versus Josh Alexander versus Johnny Gargano. We got Brett Banks taking on Candice LeRae. Scotty O'Shea, who is also here on the Elite Podcast Network with Wrestling with Myself, so make sure to check out that. He'll be taking on Biff Busick. So I'm sure we'll get some reaction from Biff this Monday on that match. Maybe Scotty O'Shea will have an opinion as well on his own show. Rich Swann taking on Trevor Lee. Tyson Dukes and Drew Gulak. Ton of big events going on for Smash Wrestling. So if you're in the Ontario, even if you're in the West Coast or in the Eastern Canada area, make sure you check out Smash Wrestling. And I'm pretty sure that this event is going to be up on Smash Wrestling On Demand in the week following the event. So Smash Wrestling On Demand is going to have that. $7.99 a month. Great deal for that. Once again, another company doing great things. Another great card on there. So I'm looking forward to seeing it when it is available on Smash On Demand and or DVD.
Yeah, definitely. Smash Wrestling. The Young Buck says that Smash Wrestling is the PWG of Canada. So I would check that out if I were you people. Smash Wrestling is some great shit to watch. The talent's great. You guys gotta watch that shit.
Yeah. I mean,
anyways,
Ontario is getting a ton of great wrestling this weekend. We got Global Wars Friday night and Saturday night, and then you got Smash Wrestling Sunday. I mean, 3 straight days of absolutely great wrestling. So Canada, you're getting a treat this weekend.
Yeah, you know what? Out there, I mean, in Philadelphia, I know World of Worlds happened and all that, but I wish I could discuss about this, but at the same time, it's like, you know, we haven't seen any of these events. Something we could talk about. You know, we haven't seen none of the matches, but I mean, we can't say who had the best match in that and all that. But I did see some clips like the Young Bucks.
From what I've heard, I
Maria.
had a couple of friends who went there. A couple of friends who live in my hometown, and also some people that I know on Twitter. They said that the best match out of both shows was Night 2, Roderick Strong taking on Tanahashi. They said that match was absolutely great.
All right.
I heard, once again, I heard great things about both War of the World shows. I'm sure Global Wars is probably going to be even better, Friday night on iPay-per-view. I mean, ACH going against Nakamura right there. That's going to be an incredible matchup. So, yeah, these Ring of Honor New Japan shows going on is doing great things. And look with Philadelphia. Philadelphia just had 2 Ring of Honor New Japan events, and now they're going to be having 2 NXT events, all back-to-back-to-back. It's absolutely crazy.
Philadelphia is fucking lucky. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, Philadelphia tonight is the hot spot to be in right now. Fucking lucky bastards. Hope you guys enjoy Sam Bradford out there. All right. Anything. All right. This Sunday, it's WWE having their own pay-per-view called Payback. Tom should give out a prediction before we close the show, but it's this Sunday. Kickoff pre-show match. We got the wannabe Mega Powers, which is Damien. I'm going to call him Damien Sandow. Fuck it. He's playing the Macho Man, but Damien Sandow and Curtis Axel, who thinks he's Hulk Hogan, going against the Ascension. I am going to pick the wannabe Mega Powers to win this match.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to think that they're pairing these two guys up. They'll have to get the win. So I'm going with the new Mega Powers as well. I mean, there's no reason to have the Ascension win. They're burying these guys, and this is just going to be another loss for these guys. It's a shame. I mean, I was never a big fan of the Ascension, but they've just fallen so far so quick.
Yeah, definitely. All right. This match was announced today, earlier today on SmackDown. Ryback going against Bray Wyatt. I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt winning this, but due to the fact from interference from Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, and we're going to see the returning Wyatt family at Payback.
Very interesting. I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt as well. I think he's going to get a win. I don't think Harper and Rowan are going to interfere in the match. I'm thinking maybe after the match, once Bray Wyatt wins, we see the lights go out, and then they come back on, and Harper, Rowan, and Bray Wyatt beat down Ryback and kind of leave him injured or something like that. I don't think they'll interfere, though.
All right. Let me see who's out here. Okay, King Barrett going against Neville. I'm going to go with Neville on this one. Reason being, it just seems like the last few weeks, Wade Barrett's been getting the best of Neville. And, starting from the beginning of the ring, he defeated him. And then it's like every match, tag match, whatever, he beats Neville. And I think Neville's going to take this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Neville as well. They seem to actually be building up Neville pretty well, even though he hasn't gotten really that key victory yet. He's been having good matches, though, and I think WWE sees something in him. So I think Neville's going to win, and at the same time, it's confusing because, they had their win King of the Ring, so it's like you have your King of the Ring lose already. It's a little weird. Still should be a good match. Looking forward to it, and hopefully this is a good launching pad for Neville.
Yeah, definitely. Next match, Sheamus going against Dolph Ziggler. I'm gonna go with Sheamus. Reason being, he could be the one they're eyeing on to win the Intercontinental Championship, the vacant Intercontinental Championship. So I'm gonna go with Sheamus on this one.
I'm going to go with Sheamus as well. Dolph Ziggler won the match at Extreme Rules, and even though Sheamus had Ziggler kiss his arse, stupid fucking stipulation. But yeah, I think Sheamus goes over here. I think they're building him as a big-time heel. So, yeah, I think Sheamus gets the win here.
All right. Next match. 2 out of 3 falls. WWE Tag Team Titles match. You got the challengers, Cesaro and Kid, going against the New Day. I think I will go with New Day on this one. I feel like they like the whole heat they're getting. They like them annoying the crowd. I think they want to continue on with it, so I'm going with the New Day.
Oh, man. This is actually turning into a good feud. I'm liking it. And as much as I did like Cesaro and Kid holding those tag team titles, because they did elevate them. There wasn't much going on in the tag team division. Now we're getting at least a little bit of hint of some more stuff going on in the tag team division. I think the New Day picks up the win. I don't know. I don't want to predict that this will be the end of Cesaro and Kid, but I don't know. I have this feeling, and I said it before, I could be wrong. I might be wrong. I probably will be wrong, but I think there's a strong chance that Cesaro wins Money in the Bank. Once again, I'm probably going to be wrong once we do our predictions for Money in the Bank when that happens. Is Money in the Bank the next show?
No, Elimination Chamber.
Well, I mean, that's happening, after Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
like
Money in the Bank.
Okay, because I forget the order of the pay-per-views. But I don't know. I feel like Cesaro and Cade might go their separate ways. But once again, I'm not going to predict that right now.
All right. We'll see, but I still feel like they should still stick with them as a team. Even, win or lose, they still going to stick with them as a team. Maybe they could be a good team to have in feud with the returning Wyatt family, if anything. I would like to see a Cesaro Kid versus Luke Harper and Eric Rowan tag team. That would be great to see, but let's see if it happens. I Quit match for the United States Championship. You got the challenger Rusev going against John Cena. I don't think this match we're going to see a quitter. I see something that Lana will do something dumb, like she'll throw in the towel for Rusev and cost Rusev the match. And then that will start off the breakup between Rusev and Lana. So that's something. I'm thinking Cena win it, but not making it tonight quit. Maybe from Lana throwing the towel. Something similar like when the Iron Sheik defeated Bob Backlund. Something like that. That's how I see it. So that's how I'm predicting it. I don't know what you, John, but that's how I'm predicting it.
Yeah, I really maybe didn't think about that. I think Cena wins the match. I'm predicting Cena. It's going to be interesting how they do this match. Are they going to do it like you said, like that sort of breakup? Is Rusev just going to flat out say, I quit? Like I said, I don't think that Rusev's going to win. It would make sense because it would help start back up Rusev, and then Cena's out of the U.S. title picture. And, having Cena say, I quit would be a big momentum swing for Rusev, a big career-defining moment. But I just don't see it happening.
All right. Before I go on the main, I just want to say, anybody's listening to the show with the Clippers, what's going on here? You guys just blew a big lead. What the hell? I just want to say that. What was I going to say? All right, the main event. It's a 4-way for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. You got the champ, Seth Rollins, going against his fellow Shield members, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, and also a guy who was not part of the Shield, but he was aligned with them at one point, Randy Orton. And there's a little stipulation here. If Seth Rollins loses this match, Kane will be fired as Director of Operations. This is an easy one for me. I'm picking Seth Rollins to win somehow. I'm going to go with Kane saving Rollins. The reason I'm saying that is because I think whoever he attacks, that's who he's going to feud next. They're going to have a feud with Kane and that person who he attacks. Like example, let's just say Roman Reigns is going to he's preparing for the spear to take out Rollins. Then Kane interferes and then he costs Roman Reigns the match. And then they will have a little rivalry. I see something like that. Whoever Kane cost them, cost the match to, he's feuding with that guy the next pay-per-view. So that's how I predict Rollins walking out WWE World Champion.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Seth Rollins too. I don't see a title change happening on this show. I don't know where they would go from here with the title picture. But I think Seth Rollins somehow picks up the victory and retains the title. I don't see Reigns winning it. I don't see Orton winning it. There's a very, very slim chance that Dean Ambrose wins it. They've had him looking strong the past two Raws. He's ended the show the only one standing. So that's why he gets a little bit of a chance of winning, but still very, very slim. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go with the title from here. Probably Roman Reigns or Randy Orton are not going to get pinned. If anybody, I think Dean Ambrose is going to take the fall. Maybe is why he was put into this match. I don't know. But either way, I think Seth Rollins retains here.
All right. Someone just texted me. There's actually a match been added today on SmackDown, which I forgot to mention. It's a tag match been added. The Bella Twins will be going against Naomi and Tamina Snuka. This one, see, it's disappointing that there's no Divas title match on this one, and it's making me hard to choose. Because I want to pick Naomi and Tamina, but I feel like Naomi's walking out champion in the next pay-per-view, whenever that's going to be. And if I say, damn, I keep forgetting. I'm just going to say Naomi and Tamina. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm going to say Naomi and Tamina, too. It would help build Naomi up, build Tamina up, to have them come back and dominate and then to have them lose wouldn't make much sense. It's funny because if like they don't announce these matches, you kind of forget that they're happening. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see where they go from here. Does Naomi get a one-on-one title shot? Does Tamina get a title shot? What happens? But I think Naomi and Tamina win.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard for me to predict because if they win and then Naomi wins again, it makes them look more stronger than ever. And then you have to set this up for a returning Paige feud. Because I don't want seeing a Paige and Naomi feud, but I just don't want, as soon as Paige comes back, she takes the title from her. I don't want to see that shit. That's what's my only fear about this. I just don't want to see this happen. So I hopefully she gets. I'm hoping she wins the title at the Elimination Chamber match, and then she can have her match with Paige at Money in the Bank, and then ended, like I said, a week ago or so, that Naomi does some stupid, like she's disqualified herself, and then they have another rematch at Battleground, and that's when Paige wins the title. So that's, or unless they want to do something for SummerSlam between the two. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. That's what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our payback predictions. We pretty much picked the same winners and losers on that one. I don't see anything. I don't think we picked no one differently. I think we just picked the same ones. But anyways.
I'm reading just on Twitter that people are going nuts for the Clippers blowing this. Now it might go to a Game 7.
Yeah, fucking idiots. They were up like almost 20 points, and now the Rockets are up like 10. That's kind of crazy. But unfortunately, I'm not a Clipper fan. I'm a Laker fan. They suck this year. But I just don't want the Clippers to win it all because these all nowhere Clipper fans are fucking morons to me, and they just came out of nowhere, and now they're all they're good. They're Clipper fans everywhere now. That's kind of strange. and then I don't want the Warriors to win it because I don't like the Warriors either. So, well, it's interesting to see what happens. But Clippers, you guys might have blown the series. Seriously. But anyways, sorry, there's someone in the background heard me who said that. But anyways, what was I going to say? Well, we're running out of time here in Wrestlingheads Radio. I think it's time for us to give us our plugs. You can follow me at Sinister632. Follow Wrestlingheads on Twitter. Follow Wrestlingheads at Wrestlingheads on Twitter. Follow Wrestlingheads on Instagram. We have a lot of photos in there you guys can check out. Me and Skits going to all these events from WrestleMania week, Bolo week, everywhere we went to. Ring of Honor in Vegas. Just check all those pictures out. Give it a like. Follow us on there because you never know who pictures we might take with. Maybe Skits will take another photo with the Young Bucks and post them out there, or his freaking 500 photo with Candice LeRae on Instagram. And follow Skits who joined us earlier. Follow him at WHRadio. Check out WrestlingHeads.com for news of anything WWE, TNA, international related news. Check that out. Go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/WrestlingHeads. Check out all past episodes on there, like interviews we had with Trevor Lee, our guest on Monday, Chris Busey. You could check out when we had him on back then. Human Tornado, Cholo, or Headbanger Thrasher. Just check it out there. We have everything out there. Just check it out. Just go to, like I said, youtube.com/WrestlingHeads. Support us. Buy our t-shirts at ProWrestlingTees/WrestlingHeads. That's pretty much what I could give out. Tom, you want to give out your plug?
Yep, you can follow me on Twitter at @2tweetme. It's really my only social media account. That's where I tweet about wrestling the most, so make sure you follow me on there. And if you follow me on there, you would have seen that I almost had a heart attack following the Rangers game last night. But luckily, they're moving on to the Bay Lightning, so I'm a happy camper. But make sure you check out the Elite Podcast Network. Follow it at Elite Podcast Net on Twitter. Make sure you check out all the shows. Indie Power Rankings just had 2 shows yesterday. They had an interview with Barbie Hyden. Make sure you check that out. Up and coming female wrestler in the indie scene. She's going to be big pretty soon, so recommend checking that out. Uncle Mike and Tom show, they have interviews with DJ Hyde before their event last week, so make sure you check that out. Another great show from them. Eyes on the Ring, they're going to be live on Sunday following Payback. So depending on how the event goes, you can either call up and praise the event, or you can call up and shit on it. So either way, they're going to be live here on the Elite Podcast Network this Sunday following Payback. So you don't want to miss that. What else? Make sure you guys go to smartmarkvideo.com. Check out all the great stuff that they have on there. Alpha One Wrestling, good friends of ours, they just released their latest event, Mortal Kombat 3 on there, from our friend Matt Grant at Weekly Wrestling Podcast, which you can follow on Twitter at WeeklyWP. He said it was a very, very good event, and I would take his word. And also here on the Elite Podcast Network, tomorrow night, midnight Eastern, post-Global War show. Matt Grant's going to be on there. He's going to be joined by a couple of his buddies. They're going to be doing a post-Global War show. They're going to be talking about some other things as well. So post-Global War's Wrestle Chat tomorrow night here on the Elite Podcast Network, midnight. I'm sure I'll maybe be on that as well. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But that's all I got. Make sure to check out ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlingHeads, WWP, Indie Power Rankings. Check out Pro Wrestling Tees altogether. I mean, the one negative about Pro Wrestling Tees is that if you go on there, your wallet's going to hate you, your bank account's going to hate you. That's the only downside, is you're probably going to go broke after visiting Pro Wrestling Tees. But yeah, that's it for me. And
and holy shit, out here in LA, something rare just happened. We're having hail here. What the fuck? Wow. You're bringing your weather out here. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, you're getting East Coast summertime weather. It's nice. It's a nice, clear, cool night over here on the East Coast. Hasn't been raining, even though I will say we need some rain out here because the pollen is absolutely crazy. Allergies everywhere. So make sure if you're outside or opening your windows, make sure you get that allergy medication because it is going to be crazy, crazy.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to check how the weather might look for the night of PWG because I'm going to go next week into PWG. It's 70 to 57 degrees, so I hope it doesn't rain the night PWG. But anyways, also listening, tomorrow night I will be at the special AWS fundraiser show for Cincinnati Red. I will be there tomorrow. Saturday I might be at Santino's show, which the main event's going to be, I think there's a main event, Eli Aerofly against Ray Rosas. I probably will be there on Saturday at Bill Gardens, California. I might check out that show there. But for sure, I'll be at AWS tomorrow. I'm going to see like Joey Ryan, Rocky Romero's going to be there. Return to the ring, Buggy Nova. She will be in the ring tomorrow night. I haven't seen her since probably her days in WWE, I believe, in NXT. Last time I saw her wrestle there, but yeah, I'm going to see her wrestle tomorrow. And I guess you Clipper fans, you're hoping your Clippers don't blow it because he just blew this game. I hope they didn't blow the series. Hope no another riots happen in L.A. because of this stupid shit. And Tom's Yankees are doing good, I heard. And
they're doing good. They lost the last couple games, but they're still doing good. So, can't complain too much just yet. Watch in the middle of the summer when we're talking here on WHRadio about sports, and either I'll be going crazy, ripping my hair out, or I'm going to be happy. So it's going to be one of the two.
Baseball, it's early in baseball right now. The Dodgers are doing good, but I'm not going to say, oh, yeah. If they keep playing like this after the All-Star, then I'll be like, hell yeah. But anyways, I guess till Monday, we'll have Biff Busick on here again. And, I guess until Monday, we are out. All right? Peace out, bitches.
Peace.